Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of City Council on Monday, December 23rd, 2024. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Here.
Mr. Coghill? Ms. Gross?
Here.
Mr. Mosley? Mrs. Cale Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Here.
Mrs. Warwick?
Here.
Mr. Wilson? Mr. Lavelle, President?
Here.
6 members present.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Our next order of business is to amend the agenda. Is there a motion to amend?
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you very much. Our next order of business is proclamations. We have one to be read into the record from Councilwoman Warwick.
Council Member Barb Warwick presents, now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the City of Pittsburgh does hereby declare Sunday, December 29th, 2024 to be Shabbat of Greenfield Day in the City of Pittsburgh.
May we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Need a second? Need a second. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Proclamation has been approved. Our next order of business is public comment. I would like to remind everyone that the rules of council state that comments are limited to matters of concern, official action, or deliberation which may be before City Council. Profanity is not permitted. After you are called, please restate your name, provide your neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. Our first registered speaker is Dr. Ronald Lynn Miller.
Dr. Ronald N. Miller at Belsever and Oakland, Helsinki, Finland, Global Information Intelligence Network.net. I became a member of the American Philosophical Association in the early 2000s, Global Intelligence Society candidate for President 2028, Gender G, Equalitarian over Equitarian Local Laws is our Initiative 7. Concerns of council include gender, and employment inequality and inequity. I want to apply W. Quine's extensionalism, not to be confused with existentialism or essentialism, to this problem. Gender statements pair alpha. 1, X is a man, M+. 2, X is a woman, W+. Can both 1 and 2 be true? Meaning of 1 is an extension of 2 and 2 of 1. G pair set 1 and 2 is coextensive. More Pittsburgh City and U.S. American country people say yes to both and, but say either M+ or W+ is more societally satisfactory. Gender statements pair beta. 3, X is not a man, M-. 4, X is not a woman, W-. Can both 3 and 4 be true? G pair set 3, 4 is not coextensive. Less city and country say yes to both and over 90% think neither M+ nor W+ as a gender identification is less socially satisfactory. Individuals in the LGBTQI spectrum do say yes to M- and W- as a gender identification. We Pittsburghers and non-Pittsburghers, in my view, must accept as fact, 1, that some accept the G identity abstraction, neither man nor woman, and affirm that they are neither man nor woman in their own identity cores. 2, that they exist in Pittsburgh City and U.S. American country, seeking employment from employers who may be viscerally anti-M-, W-. 3, that we need equalitarian local ordinance laws that make it illegal to deny employment to an M-W- person, all other resume variables being equivalent based on that identification, and to determine in an equitarian way that someone can be employed because of it.
Thank you very much. That exhausts our list of registered speakers. If there's anyone in chambers wishing to speak, please come forward at this time. Provide your name and neighborhood for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak.
Good morning, my name is Ron F. Brown. I live at 715 Mercer Street. That's up at the top of the hill, that high rise up there. I wanted to start off by this morning by saying to whoever turns the lights on in the golf business, golf building, you see the beautiful lights, it's all different colors at night and in the morning. And I wanted to say they light up my life. Unlike when I come in here and you make the decisions that we must come to the meeting. But look, none of them bothered. I want to just use some words that Anthony Carhill told me. I told him, I said, that you got people that are up on the screen talking, and you done ran back here in the audience, and you're talking to the audience when you're supposed to be at the table. You know what he said? Miss Brown, let me tell you, they're sitting there at their table with coffee and smoking a cigarette while we're down here. And that's the way I feel about them. Every one of you should be here. Every one. You're the one who makes the decision that we should have this meeting. Okay, I'll forget about that part. I wanted to say this also, that I went to this Upstep program up in the hill. This is the after-school program for my grandchildren. And in that meeting, we went, and Mrs. George was explaining that the bus, that the van that the children was in was assaulted. And then she went to say that she called the police. Okay, so she brought a chief, and I'm sorry I don't have his name, but she brought this chief that she took and she was praising him, and then he turned to her and said he would like to say something to the children. So he told the children that that's part of his job, is to protect them children, and that he would do the best that he could. If I find out what his name is, I'm going to ask that you, council, someone give him a proclamation, because he loves our babies and he talks to them, which you just won't listen because you're on your computers, you're on your tablets, you're on your phone. But you have a policeman that cares about our little babies, unlike the some of yins. And then I'm still mad when yins are starting at 10:35 and your rules say if you don't start by 10:30 it's to be scrapped. Now, Brother Mel, I went to him and I said that scrap this. You're the mayor's assistant. You can stop this meeting because it was supposed to be stopped. You know what he came and told me the next day? He said, oh, Miss Brown, you have to understand, there wasn't a quorum. That's the problem. There wasn't a quorum by 10:30. So you have to stop it. Not start at 10:35 and say, we amend the meeting. Come on now, you're playing with people's minds. A lot of the people don't understand this situation. I, a lot of times, don't. Let's have a nice, well, Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please. Next speaker, please. Seeing no further speakers, we'll turn to the presentation of papers, beginning with Councilman Charlin, Chair of Human Resources.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Councilperson Robert Charlin presents Bill 1357. Resolution further amending Resolution Number 886 of 2021, effective December 27th, 2021, as amended, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2022 Capital Budget and the 2022 Community Development Block Grant Program and the 2022 through 2027 Capital Improvement Program by reducing Southside Slopes Neighborhood Association by $3,832.54 and increasing Community Human Services Corporation by $3,832.54 and authorize subsequent agreements.
And Councilman Coghill, Chair of Public Safety and Wellness.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Gross, Chair of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Kahari Mosley, Chair of Intergovernmental Educational Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Kahari Mosley presents Bill 1364, Resolution amending Resolution Number 857 of 2023, effective December 27, 2023, entitled Resolution Adopting and Approving the 2024 Capital Budget, the proposed 2024 Community Development Program, and the 2024 through 2029 Capital Improvement Program by reducing facility improvements, sport facilities, by $150,000 and increasing park reconstruction by $150,000.
And Councilwoman Kell Smith, Chair of Recreation, Youth, and Senior Services.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. And Councilwoman Strasburger, Chair of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill 1358, Resolution authorizing one open-end professional services agreement with Assured Polygraph Services, Inc., to provide professional services on an on-call basis as required related to the administration of polygraph testing services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, said agreement being at an amount not to exceed $25,000 annually for a 3-year term and providing for funding of the cost thereof.
And Councilwoman Warwick, Chair of Public Works and Infrastructure.
No new papers, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson, Chair of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Councilman Bobby Wilson presents Bill 1359, Resolution authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of City Planning to enter into an agreement or agreements with the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission for the purpose of receiving grant funds in the amount of $20,000 to complete an updated architectural inventory of the Manchester neighborhood with a special focus on civil rights era properties. A local match of $20,000 will bring the total project cost to $40,000.
Thank you. And I have 3. If we could begin by the informing appointment.
Councilman R. Daniel Lavelle presents Bill 1360, Resolution informing City Council of the reappointment of Daniel Lavelle as a member of the Urban Redevelopment Authority of Pittsburgh Board of Directors with a term to expire December 2nd, 2029.
And I need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you very much. And then we have 2 communications.
Bill 1361, communication from Jake Pollock, Director of Office of Management and Budget, submitting to City Council the attached status update from the Grants Office for the week ended December 20th, 2024. And Bill 1362, communication from David Green, Director of the Department of Permits, Licenses, and Inspections, submitting PLI's Residential Housing Rental Permit Program Rules and Regulations, dated December 19th, 2024.
And we also need a motion to read, receive, and file.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both bills have been read, received, and filed. That's going to take us to reports of committee for final action, beginning with Councilwoman Erica Strasburger, presenting the Committee of Finance and Law.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Great job, man. You're doing a fantastic job.
Councilperson Erica Strasburger presents Bill 1351, Report of the Committee on Finance and Law for December 18th, 2024, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1300, Resolution authorizing 52 open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors to provide professional services on an on-call basis as required related to various professional services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $1,500,000 annually for a 3-year term and providing for funding of the costs thereof. Bill 1301, resolution authorizing 52 open-end professional services agreements with multiple vendors to provide professional services on an on-call basis as required related to various professional services as needed by the various departments of the City of Pittsburgh, each agreement being at an amount not to exceed $750,000 annually for a 3-year term and providing for funding of the costs thereof.
You have heard the reading and title of the bills. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin? Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bills having received the legal required numbers of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Anthony Coghill presenting the Committee of Public Safety and Wellness.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Anthony Coghill presents Bill 1352, Report of the Committee on Public Safety and Wellness for December 18th, 2024, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1315, Resolution authorizing the Mayor and the Director of Public Safety to enter into an agreement or agreements with Casa San Jose for services relating to universal representation in immigration proceedings for a sum not to exceed $100,000.
You've heard the reading and title of the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bill having received the legal required numbers of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilwoman Barbara Ward presenting the Committee of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Barbara Warwick presents Bill 1353, Report of the Committee on Public Works and Infrastructure for December 18th, 2024, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1302, Resolution amending Resolution Number 322 of 2024, entitled Resolution authorizing the Mayor and Director of the Department of Public Works to apply for grant funding from the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources Community Conservation Partnerships Program to provide funding for the Spring Hill Park Rehabilitation Project. The grant proposal includes an ask of $562,605 to accept the grant, decrease the amount, and authorize necessary expenditures.
You've heard the reading and the title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when their name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Cal Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mrs. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bills having received the legal required numbers of votes is passed finally. That takes us to Councilman Bobby Wilson presenting the Committee of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Who did I skip? Oh, I apologize. That actually takes us to Councilman Bobby Charlin presenting the Committee of Human Resources.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're Robert.
Councilperson Robert Charlin presents Bill 1354, Report of the Committee on Human Resources for December 18, 2024, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1293, Resolution amending Resolution 756 of 2023, providing for the authorization to make all legitimate expenditures for payments and agreements or agreements with various agencies for job development and employment services necessary to implement the 2023 Neighborhood Employment Program and providing the periodic transfer of funds to be used in the 2023 Neighborhood Employment Program for payment of cost thereof, cost not to exceed $210,000.
You've heard the reading and the title of the bill. Is there any discussion? I gotta hit myself again. Sorry.
Bill 1294, resolution providing for the authorization to make all legitimate expenditures for payments and agreements or agreements with various agencies for job development and employment services necessary to implement the 2024 Neighborhood Employment Program and providing the periodic transfer of funds to be used in the 2024 Neighborhood Employment Program for payment of cost thereof, cost not to exceed $210,000. Bill 1295, resolution providing the authorization to make all legitimate expenditures for payments and agreements or agreements with various agencies to provide job development and employment services, wages and fringe benefits for supervisor, staff, workers' compensation, unemployment compensation, vocational skills training and on-the-job training, outreach, recruitment costs, and administrative expenditures necessary to implement the 2024 Pittsburgh Partnership Employment Program, and providing the periodic transfer of funds to be used in the 2024 Pittsburgh Partnership Employment Program and for payment of cost thereof, cost not to exceed $300,000.
And now you have heard the reading and the title of all the bills. Is there any discussion? If none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Cale Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
Bills having received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. And now Councilman Bobby Wilson, presenting the Committee of Land Use and Economic Development.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilman Bobby Wilson presents Bill 1355, report of the Committee on Land Use and Economic Development for December 18th, 2024, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1042, resolution approving a conditional use application under the Pittsburgh Code, Title 9 Zoning, Article 5, Chapter 911, Section 911-04A72, to Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority property owner for a utility general use to construct a new pump station at 7853 Lockway East, parcel 122L50, zoned Riverfront Industrial Mixed Use, 11th and 12th Wards, Council District Numbers 7 and 9.
You have heard the reading and the title of the bills. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill will vote aye when the name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Cale Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Ms. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bills have received the legally required numbers of votes is passed finally. And finally, Councilwoman Deborah Gross, presenting the Committee of Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Deborah L. Gross presents Bill 1357, report of the Committee on Innovation, Performance, Asset Management, and Technology for December 18, 2024, with an affirmative recommendation. Bill 1296, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of AMCOM in the amount of $61,103.42 to pay the remaining balance owed to this vendor for the lease of multifunction devices and managed print services. Bill 1297, resolution amending resolution number 320 of 2024, authorizing the mayor and the director of the Department of Innovation and Performance on behalf of the City of Pittsburgh to enter into an agreement or agreements and amendments thereto with Monday.com, an online project management and portfolio management tool for use with multiple city departments, by increasing the approved amount by $79,200 for an amended total cost not to exceed $323,200 over 4 years. And Bill 1298, resolution providing for the issuance of a warrant in favor of U.S. Ignite in the amount of $30,000 for annual dues for U.S. Ignite Communities membership only.
You have heard the reading and the title of the bill. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, the bill is now ready for final action. All in favor of the passage of the bill, vote aye when her name is called. Those opposed will vote no. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mr. Charlin?
Aye.
Mr. Coghill?
Aye.
Ms. Gross?
Aye.
Mr. Mosley?
Aye.
Mrs. Cale Smith?
Aye.
Mrs. Strasburger?
Aye.
Mrs. Warwick? Mrs. Warwick?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Lavelle, President?
Aye.
9 ayes.
The bills having received the legal required numbers of votes is passed finally. That takes us to motions and resolutions. Is there anything from members? Councilman Wilson?
Mr. President, yes, I'd like to make a motion to hold a post-agenda meeting with the Pittsburgh Parking Authority and others that are related to this matter to discuss the current state of the authority, including the staffing shortages among the enforcement officers and the consideration of lifting the city residency requirement.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
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 We'll work with the clerk in your office to get that scheduled. Anything else
Thank
from
you.
members? If not, we do have,
Oh, yeah, Mr. President, sorry. I just wanted to quickly say thank you to all our public works crews. The snow on Saturday was unexpected, and I know it was a difficult day, but I just wanted to thank all of our workers who are out. You know, we're all sort of starting the quasi-holiday week, and they were out in the truck working hard, well into Sunday and into the night. So just a big thanks to them.
So I'd like to add to that.
Councilwoman?
I just want to say that I think the snow was not expected. There was a news conference the day before saying that we were going to be prepared. We obviously were not prepared. However, I do think our crews are out there every single day trying to do what they can. And I think that we need to ask some questions about what did happen, what did occur. And I don't necessarily say that it was our crews, because I want people to realize that they're out there on ice and the snow and trying to get home to their families as well. And I think a lot of times I see all the comments on social media. I mean, you can't have absolutely no snow or no ice when it's still falling. Something, I know that we, try our best and everybody tries whatever they can do. There was a lot that happened that day. A lot of people were in accidents. Council needs to be asking questions, not just being cheerleaders. We need to ask questions about what's happening, what did happen, what can we do differently. But I also simultaneously want to make sure that we acknowledge that our crews work in very difficult situations. So with that said, I won't say any more at this time. I may call for a post agenda another time.
Thank you. Any other members? If not, to meeting announcements this afternoon at 1:30, council will hold our standing committee meeting. Speaker registration will close at 12:30. To speak at this meeting, please fill out the sign-up form on the council meeting webpage or call the clerk's office at 412-255-2138. And on Wednesday, December 25th, City Council and the clerk's offices will be closed in observance of the Christmas holiday. All were present. Need a motion to approve the minutes and adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.